Your savings account is stealing from you right now. No fees you can see. Just a quiet financial loss that never shows on any statement. It is the most costly account you own. Your bank pays you about 0.38% on that cash. The same cash in a broad index fund earns near 7% a year after inflation. That 6.6% gap is the financial loss. Long-run market data proves it. This is not a savings video. This is architecture. S.T.E.A.L. Shrinkage, time, emergency, arbitrage, lateness. 5 traps, 1 system. This is for learning, not financial advice. I hand you the full plan right now, for free. By the end, you will work out just how much your savings account is costing you. Stay with me. First, the trap that shrinks your money while it sits there. Trap 1. Right now. Trap 1 is the shrinkage trap. Inflation does not take your money in one big moment. It shaves a little off each day while you do not look. Inflation recently sits at 3.4% right now. It has averaged about 3% for the last century. Under the rule of 72, at 3.4%, living costs double every 21 years. Your cash does not vanish. It quietly buys less, year after year. You call it safe? That same $10,000 sits in savings for 40 years. It grows to about $11,600. In a 7% index fund, it grows to roughly $150,000. Same money, 2 futures. Here is the part nobody tells you. The longer your cash sits, the faster the loss grows. Every year you wait, the gap gets wider. It gets harder to close. That is the whole game. At 0.38%, $10,000 earns you about $38 a year. The bank holds your whole future. It pays you less than 1 dinner for the right to hold it. I know what you think. At least it is safe. But safe from what? You dodge a market dip. You face a sure, silent loss. That is not safety. Marcus kept $20,000 in savings for 8 years. He thought he was being smart. Today, that money buys over 20% less than it did when he put it away. He did not lose it. It leaked. Inflation is the first thief. It works in the dark. But the second thief is bigger. It is not taking your money. It is taking what your money could have become. Trap 2.
Trap 2 is the time cost trap. It is not money leaving your account. It is money that never shows up. It is the growth you gave up by letting cash sit for decades. The math again. $10,000 at 7% for 40 years becomes $150,000. That is $140,000 of growth you never see. The money never entered the market. Now apply it to your life. A $10 coffee grows to $150 in 40 years. Invested at 7% instead of spending it. Every small buy carries a hidden future cost you never see. That is the trap's real power. You think doing nothing costs nothing. But in this trap, doing nothing costs the most. And you have been doing it for years. The fix is simple. Move 15% of each paycheck into low-cost, index funds the moment it lands. Pick funds that track the S&P 500 or the whole market, like VOO or VTI. The auto transfer is the weapon. You do not need discipline. You need a system that moves the cash before you can stop it. If that makes sense, hit the like button. That is the architecture. You still keep some cash for emergencies. But the trap is not holding cash. The trap is parking your whole future there and calling it a plan. That is where trap 3 begins. Time cost you can now see. But the deepest trap feels most safe. It is the belief that a big pile of cash keeps you secure. Trap 3. Trap 3 is the emergency myth. It is the belief that piling cash is safe. But over a long time, cash is not the safe asset. It is the one sure to lose buying power. Here is the twist. After inflation, cash earns about nothing. The stock market earns about 7%. The safe pick has been the losing pick, every long window. The risk you dodge, a market dip, is brief. The risk you take, your buying power shrinking, is forever. You have fought the wrong risk your whole life. This does not mean hold no cash. Keep 3 to 6 months of costs liquid in a high-yield savings account, earning recently 4 to 5% for true emergencies. But every extra dollar just sits there. It stops working for you. So the architecture is 2 buckets. Bucket 1, 3 to 6 months of costs, liquid in high-yield cash and untouched. Bucket 2, all the rest invested in broad index assets. Cash for the short term, assets for the long term. Most people get the split wrong. They hold 5 years of costs in cash and almost nothing invested. That is not care. That is the slow bleed dressed up as good sense. The fix is one decision. Keep your true buffer, then move every extra dollar into index funds. You keep the safety. You stop paying for a shield that never kept you safe. Make that call today. The emergency myth is broken, but the next trap is not in your head. It is in the bank's own model. It is why they pay you almost nothing. Trap 4. Trap 4 is the arbitrage trap. You deposit cash. The bank lends that same cash out at a profit. Then it pays you almost nothing for the right to use it. Marcus did the math. On his $20,000, the bank earns real gains lending it out. It pays him about $76 a year. The gap between those two numbers is pure profit. From his money. Read that again. You take a sure loss to inflation. The bank takes your cash and turns it into profit. You carry the risk, they collect the reward. That is the deal. This is not a small quirk. Over $19 trillion sit in bank accounts across the country. Banks lend that money out at a profit. It is one of the largest silent wealth transfers in history. Every parked dollar helps the bank build wealth, not yours. You are not just missing out. You fund the very system that keeps you behind. The account may be insured, but insurance guards the number of dollars. It does not guard what they can buy. Your balance stays the same. Your buying power dies a little each year. The fix is to flip the model. Do not lend your cash to the bank for nothing. Own the assets. Be the shareholder. Earn the spread instead of paying it. The bank's trap you now see clearly. But there is one final enemy. It lives inside your own head. It is the voice that says you will start later. Trap 5.
Trap 5 is the lateness trap. It is the voice that says you will invest when you earn more, when the market drops, when you understand it. Waiting is not care. Waiting is the trap. Here's the cost of waiting. $500 a month at 7% grows to about $1.3 million over 40 years. Start 10 years later. You leave more than half on the table. You end with barely $584,000. The math does not care about your reasons. There is no perfect moment to invest. The market always looks too high, too risky, too unsure. The people who built real wealth did not time the market. They gave the market time. You can always earn more money. You can never earn back the years you spent waiting. Every year of delay is a year you cannot get back. No pay raise recovers it. That is the entire architecture. Shrinkage, time, emergency, arbitrage, lateness. 5 traps, 5 counter moves, 1 system. Nothing more is asked of you. Nothing less keeps your wealth safe. Do the math on your own cash right now. Find the amount just sitting there. Then figure what 7% does to it over 40 years. That number is the cost of waiting one more day. Write it down. Marcus finally moved his cash. He put his buffer in a high-yield account. He set his 15% on auto. He stopped funding the bank's profit. The traps let him go. Not because he got smarter, because he got a system. So the real question is not whether your savings account is stealing from you. It is whether you will act today. The plan is yours now. 1. Keep 3 to 6 months of costs in a high-yield savings account. 2. Auto-move 15% of your pay into broad index funds like VOO or VTI. 3. Drop market timing. Let compounding work. Marcus did not get smarter than you. He got a system. That is the whole gap between the one who builds wealth and the one who watches cash shrink. You no longer let a bank hold your future for $38 a year. You build it. Type, "I am an architect" in the comments right now. This is architecture. Do not just watch your future get built. Go out and build it.